you one thing I do not need is this coat. It's boiling. That's Mum for you. Mum is always cold, always. Like it can be 30 degrees out. She's like, oh, there's a bit of a nip in the air, you know. And last thing she said, like as we were leaving the house, she was like, oh, it's quite cold out, because she'd already been out earlier this morning. It's quite cold out, you'll need a coat. So I've put my coat on. I'm absolutely sweltering. It's like being like a boil in the bag chicken in this coat as well. It doesn't seem to be, I'm rambling, sorry. I was gonna say, it's one of those, you know, supposedly waterproof coats that you sort of supposed to re-waterproof every couple of years. You know, you put that Trek stuff in the wash with it, but now it seems to be, it's not waterproof at all for rain coming in, but when you start sweating in it, it seems to just hold it all in. It's like reverse raincoat. Anyway, that was a completely irrelevant, uninteresting start to this week's video. Welcome to plot 37. Okay, of this list, quite a few of them I can't actually do. So, sowing peas, I have the peas. That is the Douce de Provence that I'm going to overwinter this year. I don't have them up here with me. First tick, Jessie. Second one, plant chard, I can definitely do that today. That is the small chard seedlings that I've got, which are going to go into the polytunnel. I could get that done. Field beans, really what we need to do is decide which beds we're going to put the field beans in over winter this year. I'm not going to plant them out yet. I'll probably plant them out later into October, but I do already have them. What I don't have is my garlic. Thank you very much for reminding me about buying garlic. I've had a lot of messages. Something I forget every year. Yeah, so I have to buy some garlic. I've got to get hold of some Pink Panther onion sets, so they've got to go in. Broad beans need to be planted. I don't have them up here with me either. This is going swimmingly. So it is going to be chard. I've got some of those giant Bolivian achochas to pick today, which is very exciting. And we've got to do a bit of a rescue on the Cavallonero because it's being eaten. So I need to swap over the protection from them because the pigeons have been at it, the blooming pigeons. So good long list, but not necessarily all for today. Let's start with rescuing the Cavallonero. Right, it is these Cavallonero that I'm talking about, and you can see my pigeon protection cage. They've just got slightly too tall, so where it's reached the top, this mesh provides a really nice perch for the pigeons to sit on, a really good stable seat, and they just munch it to their heart's content. You can see, same as happened to that one there. But on this bed, I've got two mismatched of these mesh cages, and under this cage is just my celeriac and a little bit of short kale. So I'm going to swap these over and hope that that is enough clearance to stop les pigeons. Well, that could have been more successful. But I took all the broken leaves off and we will just means having Cavallonero for dinner. Oh no, what a tragedy. How will I ever cope? That is a bit of a problem with those wire cages. They're so easy, but you do have to be quite like able to pick them up, you know, because they can ping around quite a lot, and yeah, do that. If you let go of them, they just squash everything down. Not ideal. I do get asked actually quite often where I got them from, and we actually got those for free, but you can buy them on Amazon. I'll stick the the link to what they are underneath. But yeah, you can buy them on Amazon. Same thing that our chicken cage is made out of, and the fruit cage is made out of, slightly thicker gauge one, but same stuff. Same stuff. Right, what is next on the list? Chard. We'll just stand it up there on its side. As you can see, I didn't go and plant the chard into the polytunnel. I got distracted by the leeks. We're weeding this bed. This is the bed that I planted up, what, 2 weeks ago? Everything's taken. They're actually looking really strong, especially the larger leeks, the Musselburgh. Look at the size of them. They're about 5 times as big as they were when they went in. They were proper piddlers when they went in. And Mum has convinced me to just plonk in the ones which I didn't plant last time. She's just like, don't let them go to waste, stick them in. So I'm going to stick those in too. My goodness, it's a beautiful evening up here. It's about 5 o'clock. Sun comes off our allotment really early in the winter, and you start noticing it about now that sort of by 3 o'clock, it's not a scrap of sunshine on here, but it's still beautiful and it's really good temperature. Just been thinking, you know this, where are we? Here. This structure that I built for the outdoor tomatoes this year. We're going to put the tomatoes up them again next year, and we're going to go for blight resistant. We're going to do jet setter again because, oh, that was a good tomato and appears to be completely blight resistant. Excellent. We're going to do Shirley, which is another blight resistant one. It's basically next year's outdoor tomatoes are going to just be blight resistant ones. But Mum was just saying, is there anything that we can grow up these stakes rather than have to kind of take them out over the winter, whether we could just reuse them for something else? And I think I'm going to grow broad beans up them. So I'm going to start some broad beans. I'm going to start them at home because everything in the greenhouse at the moment, everything we're starting off is just being munched and eaten, and it's just getting a bit depressing, if I'm honest. Like everything we start, the blooming pak choy, the lettuces, the coriander, slugs are being a real nuisance. I'm going to get some nematodes, but still that's not an immediate fix. But I'm going to start the broad beans off at home, so I'll probably do that either this evening or tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to go and find some garlic, which is exciting. Four gorgeous girls. Hello, four gorgeousnesses. Good morning. Good morning, girly whirlies. Yeah, I know, exciting times. again, shall we? Let's try and have a bit more of a successful day today. Yeah, after we left here, after the battery ran out, we went hunting for tulips and garlic. Yeah, I'll just take you along. Afternoon, chaps. I have charged my phone, so we won't be running out of battery again. Sorry about that this morning. Anyway, the whole trip to the allotment was a bit of a fail this morning. Got nothing I wanted to do done, and then obviously battery died. Marvellous. So we've come to the garden centre to redeem ourselves. Right, we are at Hilliers at Syon, and I have got high hopes for finding some goodies. Okay, we are on the hunt for garlic. However, I don't think this is going to be very successful. They've got one variety of garlic and elephant garlic, and that's it. And I'm not doing elephant garlic again because I've failed at that enough times. I don't need to fail again. So yeah, I don't think we're going to be getting garlic here. And they've got some vegetable starts. I was hoping for something wintry, you know, but they've got some very, very sad looking cauliflower, some broad beans that are really past their best already, a couple of peas, although they do have beetroot. And I haven't sown any winter beetroot yet, and for £1, that might be worth it. That might just be worth it. There's radish over there. No, radish. I mean, who buys radish as a start? It's ridiculous. Anyway, yes, beetroot. Now, this is something that I've been looking for, is a kiwi. I would love to get a kiwi, but I really don't want to pay £22.99 for it. I picked up one here for Johanna about 2 years ago, and it was £16. Happy to be going home with one of these though. This is for the one remaining window box at the front of our house. Yes, somebody stole a window box from our house, which is outrageous. I've also found these beautiful, like proper cyclamen, which is very exciting. And then we got the beetroot. But tulips. We are looking for tulips that are going to naturalise, but I've got to say, I'm not impressed with the packaging on these. I mean, I know this is an allium, but look at the amount of space they've got on the back of these packets, and they've got nothing written on them. And they've been printed by Hilliers, like they've been, you know, made up themselves. All that space with no info. And it's not particularly important with this allium because you sort of know, it just tells you the height and stuff. But tulips, I mean, they've got loads of mixed packets here, and they don't even have written on the back, like the varieties that are included in the mix. It just says double early. I'm not very impressed with that. I'm not very impressed. Not good. It is recording. Okay. So from this over here, and over here. Got my hand? Yep.
I just unlocked it.
It just locked, just as I did it. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, and now if you can put the camera here and film the seat. If I do that, can you see that?
I can see that.
Right. So, and just back out ever so slightly.
Oh, I can see them in the mirror. I'm in the window. Oh, through the window. It's probably a miss.
I don't think we redeemed ourselves with this trip. It's been a bit of a write-off of a day so far, chaps. I find it very frustrating because I know I could order any variety of garlic I could possibly want online. Same with the tulips. What we're really after is tulips that are going to come back year on year, you know, like properly naturalise. So it's like Kaufmania is a variety that sometimes does that, and I think there's a couple of the Darwin ones which will do it. But they've got no information on the back of those packets, so I'm just going to have to order them online as well. And I find that a bit of a shame because what I'd like to do is to be able to walk into an actual shop and buy them. But sadly not, sadly not. I think I'm going to write today off and I'll see you at the allotment tomorrow. So yeah, today is looking much improved. Firstly, we've got some surprise cyclamen to go in, which, oh, absolute beauties. These are just the same ones that are on the, they've naturalised on the pathway on the way here, and they are a complete joy. I love them. I have also remembered my broad beans and my overwintering peas, so we're on a flyer so far. It's also a beautiful day. It is 22 degrees. There's a gentle breeze blowing. It's just bliss. It's just bliss. Right, let's actually get some stuff done today. Okay, seems I've got them with me today, hurrah. Let's start with the peas. So these are a variety called Douce Provence, and they're a very early pea, so you can plant them kind of January, February, March, or you can overwinter them, which is what I'm going to do, a bit like a broad bean. I had a bit of an experiment with the variety by planting them mid-summer. It was about, when must it have been, or July-ish. It was when we were in the midst of the absolute pants, just crappy weather, and I thought it was worth giving them a go. But by the time I'd actually got them out, I planted them in a gutter, you know, and slid them out. By the time I actually got them out, not only did they have a bit of a rough ride coming out of the gutter because I hadn't washed the gutter properly before I sowed them, also, it was just before the weather picked up and then we had all that hot, and it was a complete and utter 100% fail. But I do still have the structure up that I put in place for those peas, and I am just going to drop some of these new peas straight underneath there and see if we can't get a really good winter crop. These ones are going to be direct sown. I will probably also start some inside in case this is a fail as well. I'm going to sow half what's left in this packet. So I sowed about a third the first time, so I've basically divided the packet into 3, and I'm going to save another third for a later sowing, so it'll probably be early November because we don't really know what the weather's going to be doing. Who knows, these ones might conk out in the heat that we're having at the moment as well. So I'm going to sow another lot the 1st of November. I will probably do them in guttering, but these ones I'm just scatter sowing straight underneath so I don't have to remove the structure that I already put in. And once I've scattered them all down, I'm just going to use a dibber and dib directly in front of where each of the seeds has gone. So there's a hole in front of it, and then the seed will just like tip down into that hole. This is going into a mulched bed, so the soil itself is really quite loose and crumbly. I want to get them quite deep in there for a couple of reasons. Firstly, because they need to like actually be in contact with the soil to germinate really well. It's damp and really good and moist under there, and I hope it's going to protect them just enough from the rodents so that they can germinate without being eaten. That's the plan. Okay, I have got this tray of chard. This is peppermint and lucullus, and I'm gonna, I mean, as you can see, I've got tons here. I'm going to save some for some plot neighbours. There's a couple, George and I think Caroline wants some as well, so I'll save some of them. I'm going to put some straight into the polytunnel. I think there's a couple of tomatoes in there that have kind of run their course. They've got nothing else coming on them, so I'm going to whip them out and stick some of these in. So hopefully this will be then a really nice early spring crop for us next year. But I'm not going to put them all into the polytunnel. I'm going to stick some in pots as a bit of backup, because you know the pak choi that's just been completely got at by the slugs every time we've tried to sow it in here. Well, there were a couple that looked like they might still do something, you know, they hadn't been completely eaten down to the stem, and Mum put them into the polytunnel, planted them all out really diligently. The next day it was like it never even happened. They'd just been slugged completely in there. So I'm fearful for these little chaps. However, and I may be foolhardy saying this, but these have been next to where the pak choi were and where they got eaten, and pak choi are a slug's favourite, whereas touch aluminium greenhouse frame, slugs don't tend to go for chard. They don't. So I'm optimistic anyway. Right, now I've said that, I'm never going to be able to grow chard again because the slugs are going to have it. But never mind, let's go and put this in the polytunnel. So we still have some good tomatoes coming. We've got some big boys that are still waiting to ripen, but like I said, there are a couple of plants. Oh no, that one has actually got one on there. Okay, I won't take that one out. That one's got one. This one, Ananas Noir, this is completely gone. There's nothing left on it, so I'm going to take that one right out at the bottom. Same goes for these two in the corner. This one just never got going this year, which is a real shame. And also my beautiful Japanese black trifeli, which we got about 5 tomatoes off, that's it this year, which is an absolute travesty. But then again, there is always next year. But these two in this corner, if I take both of them out, that leaves me with really quite a nice patch there that I can get some good chard in. So that is the plan, and hope they fare better than the poor little pak choi that just, it was just death. It was just instant death, instant death, instant death. So I've got 12 in here, and as you can see, it hasn't really made much of a dent. So I'm going to put some of these up, like I say, as backup for these chaps. And then I'm going to pop some up to give away. Do you think I sowed enough? It's on the table.
Yes, what do you
Well,
want?
hello, madam. What are you doing, love? Haven't seen you all morning. Haven't seen you. Yeah. Got a better option this morning, huh? In terms of placement,
Right, okay. I think I've got all the weeds out.
yeah. Can you put one down here?
Yes.
Go on your side, probably near the girlie's cage, do you think? In that corner.
That one there.
Yeah.
You stay away from it.
Yeah. And then one like mid, yeah, in there.
These will spread, won't they?
Well, hopefully they'll naturalise, yeah.
And
Probably, yeah. And then put one more in here.
yeah. Okay. That
So
looks
two
pretty
clumps.
good. No, I think that looks pretty good.
I can't deem the garden centre trip a complete fail because we did pick up these beautiful little proper cyclamen in white. They're gorgeous, and like I showed earlier, they're all the way up the path on the way here. Started off one plant about 10 years ago and they've just spread, and that's what I'm hoping they're going to do under here, which is our sort of, sounds a bit pompous, but like a little woodland garden under here. We've got hellebores and loads of little spring bulbs under here, basically all in white apart from the very pale yellow Arctic bells. We also have a bit of mint under here, and I'm hoping to get a whole load of epimedium in here. I adore epimedium. I used to have a collection of them. I had about 7 or so different varieties in the back garden, but we had a massive invasion of vine weevil and they just completely destroyed the whole lot. So I'm hoping to transfer my epimedium affection to this little D-shaped bed. Mum is just hunting for her big hands to start picking up some of the leaves that are around the back of that bed, because it's started, that time of year has begun. Yay!
Easy to pick them up with my hands.
Wrong way. Yep.
That one's right.
That one's right. Nope. In. Top. Yes. We always used to throw our like fallen leaves that were across the plot just straight into the compost bin, and it would all kind of mould down together and make compost. A couple of years ago we started making leaf mould separately, so in a separate bin, and I love it. Like, the leaf mould is the most beautiful, like soft crumbly texture, and after 1 year it makes a fantastic mulch, and after 2 years it's just like perfect seed and potting compost. Put a bit of grit in it, it's perfect. So we started doing them separately now, and we're going big on it this year. Can we do that bit just behind you? I can do it. I can do it if you like. You look pooped.
Absolutely exhausted. Absolutely exhausted. All that weeding up the top.
Yeah,
was
you've
really
done
deep.
tons of it. Absolutely
Right,
tons.
is that's it, I think.
These are George's too. That was me blasting the edge of that. So they're George's. So I've potted up a load of those chard seedlings to give away. We had 4 varieties of chard in there. There was the peppermint chard, of course, Lucullus, the really pale green one. I had a white silver, which is one of the ones with the big thick white stems, and also just a plain Bietta, like a perpetual spinach, which is why I've ended up with quite so many. I think that's probably it, us for today, chaps. The sun has gone off the allotment and Mum is knackered. She's been weeding like a demon, actually. Before I go, I will just show you. She's been doing all around under the trees, under the apricot and the fig and the pear and the cherry. And then all along the side of the pond, she's been on fire, but I think she's had quite enough of it now. Even that donut didn't spur her back into action. So yeah, if a jam donut doesn't get you going. Anyway, last thing I've got to do is pick some achocha. Now, the little tiny achocha we've been picking, but this is going to be the first of the giant Bolivian achocha, and I'm going to stuff them tonight, so I'm quite excited. And I'm hoping for 4, because there's 4 of us eating them, so it'd be a bit irritating if there isn't 4. But there's definitely 2 whoppers, which I'm quite excited about, so we can always halve them, we can always share. Anyway, let's pick some giant Bolivian achocha. They're huge, and there's 5 of them. I mean, ooh, I'm dropping them. That's not great, is it? But look at that. Fatty. Absolute fatty. That's going to be particularly nice with, like, stuffed with the Moroccan mince lamb and cream cheese. Yum. Well, I say yum. I haven't actually tried them before. So it could be rank. Who knows? But yeah, I've got 5. I've dropped one on the floor, but there are 5 of them, so excellent dinner. Anyway, let me show you what Mum's been weeding, and then I think it's probably time to make a move. Oh, I need to take pots home with me, don't I? Because I've got to plant those broad beans at home, away from all the baddies. Yeah, mustn't forget to grab pots. I've got compost, it's just pots. Unfortunately, I didn't do a before shot, or before and after, because I didn't know this is what she was going to be doing. But have a look. So this area in here was absolutely chocker with these daisies, which are in here, and we're just kind of like, well, I say we, Mum's slowly working her way through and taking these out. They're just oxeye daisies, and we did sow them in here, but we didn't realise they were quite so free and easy with the seed spreading, I think is the right way of putting it. We want to get wildflowers growing in here again this year, and although like the oxeye daisies are often in the wildflower mix, here they just form this complete carpet and nothing germinates through them. So Mum's like starting now, slowly taking them out, and hopefully by spring they will be much more sporadic than an absolute matte carpet. She's also been clearing under these two trees, which were also absolutely chocker with weeds. I'm very excited to say that the nerines are coming up looking beautiful, and this little geranium survived, which I'm really happy about. We got them like bargainless pounds at the garden centre. They were just being thrown away. I think they're about 50p each, and they've both survived, which is very nice. Marigold's still going strong. This isn't weeding, but the Jerusalem artichokes are starting to flower. Gorgeous. They are a relative of the sunflower, and you can really tell when they start to flower. They've got like proper big, beautiful yellow flowers. That's quite exciting. Well, that one up there, I mean, that is, what, about 9 foot tall, but it has got a flower on the end. And then there's under here, which is under the apricot tree, where we have got more nerines coming up, looking wonderful. But again, this was just an absolute mat of this weed, which is related to the geum, and it just forms again these huge carpets. You can see it all under there. A pest. But yeah, she's done a pretty amazing job today. There she is, the knackered warrior, packing up. Poor thing, she's staggering like. Why are we back in this situation, hey girlies? 3 girlies, 1 girlie. I've just put the cyclamen in there, love. Be careful. I know, girls, I know. It might seem mean just letting Ruby out, but I think the thing is that you can just trust Ruby. Like, you just know that you're going to be able to get her. She's not flappable, like she doesn't go nuts if you try and grab her. She's just totally calm. She is chief chicken, so she has a lot to be calm about. Whereas the others, like Margot got out the other day. I think I'm showing you actually. Did I show you? Or was I too fluffed to turn the camera on? Anyway, she jumped out along with Ruby. That's not so good because you just can't trust her. You just know that if you try and like lunge for her or something scares her, she's going to go nuts and just like fly over the fence or something. So that's why really it's just Ruby. I mean, the gate's open, they can wander out, but they don't, luckily. It's just the Rube. She's more of a dog than a chicken, so it's pretty good. can't see then, can you? Keys. I don't have both sets, I've only got the allotment keys.
You don't have anything else on me today?
No.
It must be in here. You've got those keys and I've got these keys. Right.
Ready? Let's go.
Oh, I'm exhausted today. I don't know why.
Yep. Cheers. This is incredible. It's October. It's October. I know, and it's not even that early October. It's like, well, it's Sunday today. I don't know whether that makes it the 8th, maybe the 9th. I can't remember. Anyway, that's when it is, and look at the weather. I mean, I don't know if you're really seeing the weather from there, but I can tell you it's about 22, and it's and we've supposedly got 2 more days of this, so like Monday, Tuesday, beginning of the week, are meant to be just gorgeous, like 25, perfect blue skies. It's fantastic. I've got to say, I was starting to feel a bit, I wouldn't say down about it exactly, but a bit sort of deflated by the fact that we didn't have as good a summer as we could have had this year. Definitely not. Lovely early summer, then we had the crappy bit, then we had what, 2 months of just gloom and rain, and then now we've just had this like little burst at the end, which has kind of made it all better. It's made it better. I'm actually just about to start sowing my broad beans, so these are just the Aguadulce, like proper bog standard, great overwintering broad bean, and I'm just doing them in individual. Other side. This is what I was looking for. There are 9 stakes up the centre of that tomato bed, and I'm going to put 2 beans on each, so I want to end up with 18 plants. I'll probably sow what, 20, 24 to make sure I've got enough, and they will be good to go, and they should come up really quickly. I'm just going to stick them in like the conservatory here. Don't even need, I mean, in this weather I don't even need to put it outside, but I don't want to know what it's going to be like on Wednesday. Wednesday it's meant to all turn rotten. Like proper autumn, so I don't know what I'll do, but anyway, I'm going to keep these ones at home so that they don't get eaten by either slugs or mice or whoever else is destroying everything in the greenhouse. So this week, what turned from a pretty pants week, that first day I don't know what was going on, it was just a do nothing day, you know, when you go up with great intentions and just nothing happens. It was one of those, but it ended well. We got quite a lot done in the end, so I'm just going to say cheers. Can't believe this weather. It's October. Cheers to the Monday Club, my fantastic patrons who keep this all on the road, and cheers to everybody else. I hope you're having this weather as well, or in fact you're coming into spring if you're on the other side of the globe. But I do know that in Scotland, or like from halfway up England into Scotland, the weather has been abysmal, so I'm very lucky to be in the sunshine. Cheers, chaps.